All right. It is week 5, 6, 7 in CIT 82 web development, intro to web development. And this week, we really start to hone in on what that site's going to look like for you all, your project zero. Like I said before, the idea is that we're along the way working on this project zero. And the more time and effort you give it on these assignments, the less you're going to end up having to do at the very end of class. Now, what that brings up really is the end of class. So let's actually take a look at the calendar, right? So, by the way, today is Valentine's. Happy Valentine's Day. However, you celebrate it for yourself or for your loved ones or both. So, here we are. I'm going to release week 7, and then just roll forward here into March. And what you can see here is that um, we have all the way until March 9th. Okay. Now, in this case, your project zero is due on this night by midnight, but really by the time I wake up on Friday morning. The thing I would say to you is this, like, don't wait, because you know, the requirements will be there. We've gone over them. I noticed on last week when I had you look over the requirements, I didn't get any clarifying questions for them. So the sooner you work on it, the sooner you turn it in, the sooner I will review it and give you feedback. When you're submitting it, let's say that Thursday night after, especially after 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, I'm not going to see it till the next day, and then there's no resubmitting it. So the sooner you do it, the sooner I can review it, give you feedback if needed. You can update it. But if you're waiting, that option is not there. Now I get it, and I know we've had conversations about procrastination, and I don't know how to solve it for you. I'm still solving it for myself. I've gotten better at it, mostly because I things in life just kind of make you go focus. So anyway, I just want to give you that. So this week in our content, all right, we're going to be learning about search engine optimization. You're going to be creating a new page in your GitHub IO template. We're going to talk about frameworks, really important topics, content management systems and payments. So if you've heard of WordPress or Squarespace, these are content management systems. Um, they're not well, actually I talk about that here, so I don't need to do it. And then create your menu and select, your topic and do the outline of your course. And then images on the web. So what's fun for me at this point is I've at least gotten enough time behind my template to do some modifications. I'm working on my sub pages right now. I have at least 3. I will have, let's see, I don't have those done, but I at least have a good idea of the structure. I know what my menu is going to be. I'm pretty sure what my sub pages for each of them are going to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I talked about this. So in this case, when we're talking about your website, typically home would not. Oh, and I need to fix that link, right? And I talk about strategies to make this process a little bit easier when you do it. So pay attention to that. Um, so what I was really talking about here is that these about passions, family, and sustainability are my main menu items because contact and home, there's really not much. I do want you to give some content here, right? So I will end up changing, of course, this content. And I need to clean up this page because one of the things I really hone in on this week is the idea of changing your sites from, that looks funny. It's like too many me's on a page. Okay, so let's go here. How about that? So moving your site, put me in the middle. For those of you that have sites, and you're going to hear this term, I've talked about it before, but just doesn't help to hear it again, to hurt it again. A single page site, which has all the content on a single page, to a multiple page site. So when I say 21 pages, I mean 21 separate files that have a link somehow in your navigation. Okay, navigation meaning, right, your menu, that I can get to them somehow. So that's I show you because I ended up having to set up this for my template because it was based on a single page. They call them single page applications. They're really not applications, but they're single page websites. There's benefit to those depending on the content that you have, right? But in this case, part of what I want you to learn is how to manage a multi page site. Okay, so I've talked about the end of the semester. I've released week 7. This will be week 7. Week 8, right? There'll be some more. Again, every hands on will from here on out. I'm pretty much sure every hands on will be a project related to help you move that forward. The last lecture has been in the past lecture of your choice, but I'm actually thinking of doing an intro to JavaScript. So I know there are some of you taking JavaScript right now, and I'm teaching that. So that may not be as much of an interest to you. I was thinking about showing you how to process a contact form, just for acquiring the data from the user, because in that process it introduces the basics of the programming language. Would you be interested in seeing that? I guess that's my question for you today. For those of you that have not had any programming, because if you're continuing this path, which I hope you are, you'll need at minimum to take JavaScript. And then you'll have, when you look at the different options, depending on, right, which path you're going to take, you can take another programming language. So the sooner you get introduced to programming, the better. Okay, that could be a question. What could be another question? And this would be kind of where I would end with today. It's like when you're working on this template stuff, what I show you is my template and how I'm modifying it, right? You want to because yours is going to be different. Reach out for help when you need it, because yours very well may, not will, it will look different. It will have different HTML. It will have different things you need to do to modify it. Remember, you do need to modify the content, like as an example here, right? These are not linked, so I need to make sure I've updated these or remove them if they don't pertain to me. Now, the copyright needs to stay because that's part of the agreement you have generally with the MIT license, is that you can. I could copyright and put my name here, but I would need to leave the Bootstrap made site on there, I believe, with the MIT. Okay, any other questions? How do you find me? Go over the syllabus and find that as well. For those of you also taking CIT 85 with that's scheduled to start on the back 9, I am now teaching that as well. And did I mention it last week? I might have. Sorry if this is a duplicate. It's set up already to run the way Todd has set it up, and it's been this way for a couple of years, to where he uses his Udemy course and he gives you a code for it. I don't know that I'm going to have the time, given what I'm doing with JavaScript, to completely redo that course. So my plan, and this, you give me feedback on this, is like my plan is right now to actually go through the course as this actually a little ahead of the students, and because there's some of that content that needs to be brought up to date a little bit, just like any course like this one, that 82. I noticed that I'm recording video that I had last time I recorded was in 2000, so it's coming up on 3 years old. And so I always try to, get on top of that content. So some of it was a bit dated and needed that. And that could be, and I think that's true for some of that course as well. So my plan is to go through it and then give updates where I feel that's like, I know this is the whole, no due dates versus due dates, because on my courses, very, not pretty, I'm very solid on due dates because I understand the flexibility, but I understand without due dates, sometimes we just don't get work done. And we talked about that last week. Anyway, have a great one. Week 7. Hang in there. Come see if you need me. Come see me. Come see me. Come see me if you need help. By the way, the tutors in the tutor center also have, I believe both of them have taken CIT 82, so they could be helpful as well if my schedule doesn't work for you. Have a great one. Talk to you later.